So October is done. I'm kind of bummed. There's no more trick-or-treaters. But spooky season, it's year-round. So if you're looking for some spooky apparel, MonsterCityMadhouse.com. It's 24/7 over at Monster City Madhouse. Go check out my buddy's website. Halloween decor, Halloween shirts, horror-themed apparel. Yeah, MonsterCityMadhouse.com. Go check him out. Also, the Ghost of Gallatin Haunted Tour. October's over, but we still do custom tours. Groups for more. I do them pretty much any time. Some new books, Below the Trestle. It's available. And Lee, how's it going back here behind the board today?
Man, it's going good. I'm in a good mood. I'm ready to jump on your show for the Opry House.
That's right. We got a different kind of show. I was going to do this actually a few weeks ago, but I had Roger the Wraith behind the board.
That's why, because I wasn't here, and you just didn't feel like doing it.
Well, no, I figure it's a better fit. You're more in the country music scene than Roger is. I figure it'd be a better fit for you.
But Roger's a good one, man.
Oh, you're Roger.
Y'all be sure.
Roger's great.
Be sure to check out Morty's Radio Mausoleum, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Back to you, Alan.
Well, back in 2021, I wrote a book called Southern Ghost Stories Opryland. So a weird thing happens when you write books about ghost stories and folklore. People come tell you their ghost stories. It's kind of like I was telling somebody the other day, if you've seen the movie Ghostbusters, there's a commercial in the film, "We're ready to believe you."
Yeah.
So, I'm out slinging books. I'm out doing conventions, festivals. I'm here, there, and yonder. People come to me, I grew up in a house over here in South Nashville. Hey, my mom worked at Opryland. People have weird experiences, and sometimes they don't share them with their friends or coworkers because, some folks, they don't believe in all the ghost stuff. But with me, it's kind of wide open. They see I write books about ghost stories. They want to come tell me their stories. So I'll make notes and kind of dig in. It's kind of a thing, the ghost at Opryland. Back in 1995, I used to work in the hotel, worked there maybe 6 or 9 months. I was just a teenager, worked at the Cascades restaurant. And I would hear things from time to time. Oh, so-and-so saw the old lady tonight. Oh, so-and-so saw Miss McGavick. I was just a kid. I really didn't know what it was. But I knew it was kind of a thing. It's some kind of ghost story at Opryland. Well, flash forward, Ghost of Gallatin comes out. I do the Murfreesboro, Spirits of Stones River. I'm writing these books about Middle Tennessee, and at these shows I'm at, people come up, I worked at Opryland. We saw Miss McGavick in the gazebos. We saw this, we saw that. So I just kind of dove right in and did a book about Opryland. It's a whole lot of fun. So the area where Opryland, the whole complex it has a complicated and dark history long before the theme park came to town. The hauntings are not just isolated incidents, but are tied to the deep history of the land, from Native American settlements to the 19th century plantations there by the river. So I guess you got to really back up to tell this story. The entire area outside of Nashville, near the Cumberland River, it was home to the Mississippian Indians settlements in the 1300s and 1400s. Multiple burial grounds were discovered, and they were disturbed over the years. Well, by, I guess, like the late 1700s, the early 1800s, the McGavick family, they're a prominent family in Middle Tennessee. One of the McGavicks was a mayor of Nashville, one was a mayor of Franklin. They're very prominent people.
Hence McGavick Pike.
Yeah, and McGavick High School. Yeah, but they're very prominent people. But David McGavick, he built the Two Rivers Mansion, and he also had an 1806 house before it, also on the property. When he was back there working on his property, he was plowing roads. He dug up 50 to 100 stone box graves belonging to the Mississippian Native Americans there that lived right there by the river.
Wow.
Yeah, the McGavicks, they treated the remains pretty disrespectfully. According to Nashville lore, they placed the skulls on fence posts, and they gave some of the ancient stone clubs to their children to play with.
That'll gather spirits.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean,
I think so.
I mean, if you're a traveler rolling down the turnpike and you see these stones up on the post for the house, I think I would stay away.
Me too.
Well, in 1971, they built the Two Rivers Golf Course over there, kind of Donaldson area, part of Nashville. And while they're building the golf course and digging things up, they discovered another cemetery, and they dug up 20 more stone box Native American graves. One of the skeletons was even put on display at the nearby McGavick High School. So that's kind of cool. But The main ghost at Opryland, they say it's Miss Mary Louise McGavick.
I saw that.
She's the prominent spirit seen there across the entire Opryland complex. She was the last heiress of the McGavick family. So, Miss McGavick, she didn't have any children. So, in her will, Miss Louisa, she donated a large tract of land along the bottoms of the Cumberland River to her church. So she was very strict with her orders. She wanted it to be used for a school. Or an orphanage.
Right.
Well, 3 years after she died, that exact land was sold to WSM, the radio
station. For the park.
That wanted to build Opryland USA.
Opryland, yeah.
So, yeah, it's believed she remains there due to this unfinished business.
She
and
did
her
not
wishes
get
granted.
her wish. That's really sad.
So, I know you're in the music business. Did you ever play Opryland?
Many times.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. Well, the Grand Ole Opry.
Okay. Well, that's kind of like the mecca for country music.
Yeah, I never played the park.
So, when I was a kid, my grandparents lived close to the park off Murfreesboro Road. My birthday is June 3rd, and so start of the summer, my granny, she'd buy me a season pass for my birthday. Back then it was like $50 or whatever it was, and she'd get me one. I had a cousin just turned 16. He'd come pick me up, and we'd go to the park, man. I spent all my summers Opryland, the park, riding the rides. It was fun until my granny wanted to go with me, and we had to go watch the shows. But I remember going and seeing a young Travis Tritt before he was like a mainstream act. He was just one of the young greenhorns they threw up on stage, and he's, playing for tips or whatever.
Opening for somebody.
Yeah, a lot like Diamond Rio. They got their start there at Opryland.
Yep.
The guys from
great guys too.
Lone Star, they got their break there at the park. So yeah, well, Diamond Rio, they were with the Mississippi River Bottom Boys or something.
When I was with Joe Diffie, we opened for Travis Tritt at the Starwood Amphitheater, and that was a dream come true for me, Alan, because I always wanted to play Starwood.
Don't get me started on Starwood. I grew up in Antioch, so like I went. I had front row for Aerosmith several times.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, dude, I've seen everybody. Metallica, Skinner, Aerosmith. Yeah, that's another That's another show right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but back to the ghost story. Sorry.
Come on with it.
But all the stuff at Opryland, it all kind of stems from the Gavick family, the Two Rivers Mansion. The Two Rivers Mansion, it was built there for the McGavicks right there. It's still like a preserved historical site. It's open for tours. I think they did something for Halloween last week. But they say that they've seen Miss Louisa there wearing a white dress inside the home. According to people who've been in the house, she opens doors, she turns doorknobs.
Now, how do they know it's her?
Well, they've kind of seen her. She was she was aggrieved. They took this land from her that she wanted to be used for the children.
Right.
They built a theme park. So that's why she's kind of there. They say she plays with the water in the house, turning faucets on full blast. When somebody walks out of the bathroom, she messes with electricity, turns lights on, the chandeliers on and off.
Stuff jumping off the shelves is part of what I read somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she moves objects, causes items like phones and watches disappear. And then like a month later, you'll find it somewhere else, like in the basement where you wouldn't think to look. She also was be pretty protective. One of the former caretakers told me that Miss McGavick threw what sounded like gravel out a window to wake her up when a tornado came through Nashville in 2020. So she's kind of looking out for the lady who stayed there in the house.
How incredible is that?
Yeah. Well, I was part of an investigation at Two Rivers several years ago. Strange night. There's a medium. We were upstairs in one of the bedrooms, and she picked up someone saying goober peas. And she turned to me and said, like, what is goober peas? And I didn't know what a goober pea was.
I do.
So I looked it up. Well, it was actually a song. It was a popular marching song for the Confederate Army. So it's what a peanut, isn't it? Is that what it is?
A goober pea?
Yeah.
My mind's going somewhere else. Now I don't remember what it was actually.
Yeah, but there's a song called Goober Peas that they would march to.
Okay.
Because we Googled it, and it was something the Confederates would play on their drums. They marched from town to town. But that night, this empath, picked it up in one of the bedrooms. So, yeah, but it's all over. I remember we were also in the house, and we were downstairs, and we kept picking up something. I can't remember the exact details. There was a name that kept being brought up. So at the end of the night, one of the investigators went to the caretaker and said, hey, who was this? I think it was a boy's name. I'm like, oh, well, he died, as an infant. So it's something like no one really should have known, but we kept hearing this boy's name, so we found out through the investigation.
Let me give just a little info on this goober peas thing.
All right, go for it.
It is a peanut.
Okay.
And what I'm reading is very interesting. Goober peas, another name for peanuts, a term that originated from the African word naguba and was brought to America by enslaved people from West Africa.
Well, there you go.
Hey, man. Info bogan over here.
Yeah, look at you using Google to your advantage. Yeah, but it's not just the Two Rivers. I mean, it's the whole sprawling complex. I mean, like, when they built the theme park in the 70s, what you got, Lee?
Go ahead. I'll when you get done.
I see like a light bulb went off over your head over there.
Ding, go ahead, but I don't want to interrupt you.
No, but I mean, in the 70s, they built that sprawling complex. They would see her everywhere. I had someone tell me that they were cleaning up one evening, and they were walking by one of the gazebos near the front entrance, and they saw a lady up there in a white dress. They got closer, and she disappeared. Someone told me that someone in their family was working one night. The park had closed. I think they were sweeping. And this lady in like an old-timey dress walks up to her in the dark, and she asked her, hey, what's the date today? And as she was answering, she disappeared.
Ooh.
So, yeah, some weird stuff with Miss McGavick there.
Well, you were talking about the song, Goober Peas.
Mm-hmm.
The term became widely known through the popular Confederate Civil War song, Eatin' Goober Peas, which described the soldiers' appreciation for the filling and versatile food source.
Well, there you go.
And that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quit looking up so I'll quit interrupting your show.
No,
here.
man, you're good. You can hijack it whenever you want. Yeah, Opryland Hotel, like I mentioned, I worked there, and I'd hear the story about the old ladies, and they'd say she'd be like an old woman, like a lady in white, sometimes in a black dress. But the thing is, at Opryland Hotel, she sits close to the Magnolia section of the hotel. When they built the Opryland Hotel in the 70s, the Magnolia wing was the original part of the hotel. So Miss McGavick, she's not over in Sound Waves, the music, I mean, not the music, but the water park part of the hotel. She stays there, right there in the original part. That's where they see her. I talk to folks, and lights would go on, lights would go off. There's all kinds of weird stuff, but yeah, you won't find her in any place other than the original part. Yeah, but back to the hotel. So, I mean, the whole park was torn down in the 90s. There was a new CEO came in, and Opryland was profitable pretty much every year. Some years it made more than others. As Dollywood came in, it kind of took a little chunk from them. But the CEO who kind of shepherded the Opryland project, he retired. I think it was early 90s. And the new guy came in, and what he wanted to do was he wanted to make like a downtown Disney. He wanted to make like this really happening fun place you could come to and not just a theme park. See, a theme park, Opryland was open from, April until December. So January, February, March, Opryland is costing the WSM Corporation money.
A lot.
Yeah. So, but you build a mall or you have something else that brings in money every single day, you're not losing any money, during 3 months. So it was a business decision to shut the thing down. And during that time, there's also some rumors, I think in the early 90s, mid-90s, Nashville they voted on whether or not a lottery could be legal. So they brought the lottery into Nashville. Well, supposedly the lawmakers were also looking at bringing in like a riverboat and putting it right there on the Cumberland River, kind of like Tunica or Metropolis. You got the place you can gamble right there on the river. Well, that was going to be part of their downtown Disney thing they wanted to build, but I'm not sure if the money ran out or they couldn't get it approved or whatever. But once that whole downtown Disney project they wanted to do fell apart, they decided to scrap Opryland and open a mall. So I think the park shut down in 99, or is it 97, and the mall opened 2 years later. But I think we're up against a break here. But when we get back, I'm going to talk about some wild stuff at the mall and just the whole complex, because there's ghost stories all over Opryland. Now, even though it's gone, there's still ghost stories.
We'll be right back with Southern Ghost Stories with Alan Searcy on WQKR.
Now open in Portland, the new Mexican restaurant, Los Potrillos Mexican Restaurant and Grill, located at 105 North Broadway, open Monday through Thursday from 10:45 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night, Friday and Saturday from 10:45 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday from 10:45 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. We offer senior and military discounts. Lunch is at 11 to 3 p.m. We offer some of the best Mexican food in Portland with quesadillas, taco de carnitas, fajitas, nachos, and lots of other wonderful menu items. Gift certificates are available, and we do catering. You can make reservations for birthdays and office parties by calling 615-475-3380. Los Potrillos Mexican Restaurant and Grill, located at 105 North Broadway, here in Portland.
WQKR.
Hey, join me, Kenny Mann, right here on the Q for the Man Show every Saturday night. You don't want to miss it. I have a time machine.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I did build a time machine out of a DeLorean, and all I've got to do is get you in it.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss it. It's every Saturday night right here on the Q.
Oh my.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Mowing season is in full swing. What better place to purchase a Cub Cadet mower than D.T. McCall at 1220 Scottsville Road in Lafayette, Tennessee? Choose from a 42-inch fab deck at $4,299 or a 50-inch fab deck at $4,999. Hurry in while supplies last. Need some new appliances? We have them too. Hot Point washer and dryer at $499.99 each. Sharp refrigerator, range, microwave, and dishwasher package for only $3,799.96 after a $200 mail-in rebate. Lazy Boy recliner, only $679. Choose a softline sofa made in Italy to go with that recliner for $1,899, or select a Franklin Chase Lounge sectional for $2,549. D.T. McCall & Sons, serving Middle Tennessee for over 100 years. 0% interest for 12 months through Mariner. Free delivery and recycling within 125 miles of Carthage, Tennessee. Your one-stop neighborhood superstore. Hey!
Hey everybody, it's Lonesome Lee Bogan reminding you that my show will now be heard on WQKR on Thursdays and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. I'm really looking forward to this change. I'll be telling stories from the road, I will be playing awesome music, and I will have some very cool guests. So please join me for the Lonesome Lee Bogan Show at 9 a.m. on Thursdays and Fridays right here on your station, WQKR. Welcome back to Southern Ghost Stories. Back to your host, Alan Searcy.
Here we go.
Come on, Alan.
See, back before the break, talking about Opryland and Opry Mills and the ghost stories from the McGavics and the Native Americans, all the wild stuff there. So when I wrote Southern Ghost Stories Opryland, I think it was 2021, the book was well received. It did really well. Well, a few months after it came out, this picture went viral on Facebook. There's a lady who went to the mall and she took her children to see a movie. You know, there's a theater over there. I think it's Regal Cinemas inside the mall. She took her kids to a movie. They go get seated. She decides, hey, let's take a selfie. Takes a selfie of her and her children. And as she clicks the picture, you see in this image, there's a lady in black floating behind her and her two kids. You can go on Facebook and type in Opryland ghost picture or whatever. It should come on. It went viral a couple of years ago. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, I've seen it.
I didn't have my mic on. You can see it?
Yeah, it's a lady and her two kids, and behind them is this black. It's like a lady in a black dress floating through the back of the theater.
Oh.
Yeah, it was all over Facebook. Yeah, it was great for my book sales. Really helped me. But it's wild. This picture was captured right after the book came out. Yeah, so I mean, it's the mall. There's all kinds of shops and stores there that say things happen, and I mean, it's wild. So it's not just the hotel. It's not just the mall. The Grand Ole Opry House. And I figure you'd have fun with this. So have you played the Opry House, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Many times.
So the staff and security have reported seeing the spirit of a lady in a black dress, which is believed to be Mrs. McGavick, on the Opry stage and also as well in the lobby. There's also another story. It's not a lady. Say another entity is also present in the Opry House. There's a distinct sound of someone walking across the stage in cowboy boots that's been heard late at night when no one is around. Yeah. And well, here's something else you might like. So the Opry House, Roy Acuff. I'm sure you're familiar with Mr. Acuff, right?
Oh, I got a story.
Oh, go for it.
I got a quick. I don't want to spend too much time on your show, but before I got with Joe Diffie in 1990, I was working at an Exxon station in Madison, Tennessee. And this white Cadillac pulls up to the pumps. Mr. Acuff is on the passenger side. And I checked the tires, wiped the window like I did everybody else, wiped his mirror, both outside mirrors, and his window started coming down while I was doing the mirror. He handed me $1. I still have it.
Huh.
I got a Roy Acuff $1.
Yeah, well, he was born in Maynardsville, Tennessee, 1903. He was a real good baseball player. The Yankees were actually scouting him, but he suffered a severe case of sunstroke. Which, you think baseball players be wearing sunscreen, but then again, it was back in the 30s, so who knows?
They didn't have sunscreen.
Yeah. But yeah, he learned to play fiddle by ear while he was recovering from the sunstroke he suffered playing baseball. His music career, he's part of a traveling medicine show before he formed his own group, the Crazy Tennesseans. 1938, they auditioned for the Grand Ole Opry, and they really made an impression on the founder, Mr. George Hay. Within a year, the group was renamed the Smoky Mountain Boys, and they became official members of the Grand Ole Opry. Roy Acuff, he was the co-founder of the Acuff Rose Music Publishing. I mean, that was the first publishing company in Nashville. I mean, Roy Acuff, he was like, I don't want to say a god, but he was like, he was the guy in country music, bluegrass music, I guess in the mid to latter 20th century. But he played the Opry all the time. He was the first living person inducted in the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1962. He was a nice guy, but he passed away from heart failure in 1992. Well, after the death of his wife in 1981, Roy Acuff, he began spending a lot of time at Opryland, the theme park. He visited the staff long after the park closed down, and the president of WSM, the president of the theme park, Bud Wendell, he sensed that Mr. Acuff, he was lonely. He's a lonely old widower living there by himself in his house across the river. Well, as a gesture of gratitude for Acuff's importance to both Opry and Opryland, Wendell proposed building him a new home free of charge right next door to the Grand Ole Opry. Well, initially, Mr. Acuff, he resisted the offer, and he couldn't accept a free house. They wore him down. He eventually agreed. He would move into a house. They built it for him beside the Opry. Well, they built him a 6-gabled colonial-style home. It was completed within a few months. Acuff moved in, and it allowed him to be there inside the park where he could mingle with fans. He's an older, elderly gentleman, and, people still like to talk to him about music, and he really couldn't play at this advanced age, but he could still interact with the fans and people who love his music. And he just, as an older man, his wife had passed away, he relished living there right next to the park amongst all the fans.
Okay, you got all this Roy Acuff information. Let me just throw this in.
Right.
What was his big song?
Right.
Every night on the Opry, he opened with it.
Oh, something, go ahead and tell me. It's
Wabash Cannonball.
That's it. That's the name of the roller coaster. I knew it was something. So, like many other buildings on the Opryland property, the Roy Acuff house is also said to be haunted. The building is currently vacant, not really open for tours. Some stories have emerged from security personnel who still monitor the property. They say that inside the house, sometimes you can hear footsteps going up and down the stairs. That's pretty creepy.
Do they claim it's Mr. Acuff?
Yeah. There's also a story about a security guard being in the Opry House one night when the power went out. And that's right next door to the Acuff house.
Gotcha.
Well, he's sitting there in the Opry House, and he heard what sounded like someone walking across the stage in cowboy boots. Well, the sound was heard at the same time by a female guard, in the Acuff house called him into a panic because the doors were closing inside the Acuff house.
Okay.
So I guess the lady in the Acuff house came running over to the Opry house to tell the security guard what was going on in the Acuff house.
I just thought of something else, Alan.
What's that?
Can I throw it in?
Go, man. Go for it.
You don't mind.
Go for it.
This younger lady came to the Exxon one day and wanted to use this card that we were told not to accept. Okay? Well, I said, ma'am, I'm sorry, I can't accept that card. Well, she went off on me and finally went, I'm Roy Acuff's girlfriend, and I always use this card here. So I went and talked to the manager, and sure enough, they let only her, Roy Acuff's girlfriend, use that card.
And what year was this, you
1991, 90, sorry.
1990. He passed away in 92.
93, I thought it was 93.
Yeah, so yeah, his wife been dead for 9 years. I guess it's okay for him to...
Yeah, he had a girlfriend, and he had just bought her a brand new buggy, that's what she called it.
How old was she? He
I
was
really don't know.
in his 70s.
She had to be in her 30s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was cradle robbing a little bit.
Yeah, man, he's 70-something years old with a 30-year-old girlfriend. Wow.
I would do it if I was 70 and didn't have nobody.
Yeah, we're talking about the ghost stories in the Acuff house. I've been told the doors in the house have been known to open and slam shut by themselves. I've had a security guard tell me it's just creepy at night. And they'll hear noises, and so I'm just like, okay, I'm getting out of here. And they walk over to the Opry and just walk around the Opry and monitor it for a little while because the Acuff house is just creeping them out.
Right.
Well, while it seems logical to attribute the activity to the spirit of Mr. Acuff, some of those who've worked security there, they believe otherwise. I had one former staff member tell me that they didn't think it was Mr. Acuff. They thought it was Miss McGavick. They said they'd see her everywhere. She was in the park, Opry house, everywhere in between. Why wouldn't she be in the Acuff house too? So maybe it's not Mr. Acuff. Maybe it's Miss McGavick. I don't know.
Yes, who knows?
Maybe it's both of them.
If he started singing and playing a fiddle, you'd know.
Yeah. Well, back to the Two Rivers Mansion. That's kind of where it all stems from. I mentioned earlier, there's another house on the property there of Two Rivers called the 1802 house, and that's when it was built, 1802. That was the original house on the site, and they say it's believed to be extremely haunted. According to legend, it's the home of a beheaded woman. Paranormal investigators from the TV show Pickler and Ben several years ago captured an image of an SLS camera. You know what the SLS camera is?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like the stick figure. They can it draws stickmen for you.
I have that on my phone.
And they caught an image of a figure of 3 feet off the ground with no head. And they also captured an EVP voice clearly saying a woman. So they say the house can make people feel physically ill or nauseated. Let me tell you, I've been in that house after dark. When we did the investigation, it was pitch black. It was late at night.
Did you get nauseous?
No, I mean it's really creepy and uncomfortable. I mean it's an old house built in 1902. You know, it's kind of they built them different back then. You know, everything's a little tighter and the ceiling's lower. But yeah, it was creepy in there at night, man. I can't remember if we got anything on the investigation that night, but we got stuff in the mansion. But 1802, I don't think we did. It seemed like there was some activity. They got something in a spirit box, but I couldn't make it out. But
well, if we don't run out of time, I want to know what you got.
I have to look back in my notes
at the mansion. So
with the Two Rivers Mansion, they say the mansion's haunted by children. Bessie McGavick, who died at the age of 5, and Willie McGavick, who died at 8 months. And they say the sounds of children running down the halls and balls bouncing are kind of commonplace there. There's also the spirit of an enslaved individual named Jack, who's believed to be there in the mansion. And they say he makes his presence known with like a sour scent of like body sweat and like BO. And he's typically there when work is being done around the house. Like he's trying to watch and make sure they're doing it right. And this is kind of weird. All right, so they say there's a ghost dog on the property. You heard of a ghost dog?
I can't say that I have, but this is interesting.
Yeah, I've heard a few instances around Middle Tennessee. But yeah, there's a ghost dog thought to believe to be an Alaskan husky that belonged to Spence and Mary Louise McGavick. And it's been seen on the south side of the mansion grounds. And when it appears, it doesn't make any noise. You see it, and all of a sudden it just vanishes. So yeah, I've never seen a ghost dog, but I've been in a place in Franklin where on the square there.
That's strange that dogs would have a spirit.
Yeah, what's that? They say all dogs go to heaven, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's one that got left behind.
I've heard biblically, I didn't read it, but I've heard people say that biblically animals don't go to heaven, and I just can't imagine that. Come on.
I don't know, man. There's only one person who knows, and
That's right.
he ain't told us,
He ain't told us yet.
Yeah, but I think we're up against a break. Let's take a break. We'll come back. I'm going to tell you about some wild, creepy stuff in Opryland in the old theme park.
I can't wait. We'll be right back with Southern Ghost Stories with Alan Searcy on WQKR.
At the Law Office of Amanda J. Gentry, we are committed to defending your rights. We have a team committed to helping you navigate the court system, whether you've been accused of a crime or you're going through a messy divorce and custody. Call our team to help you navigate this system. We are here to protect your rights, to demand your rights, to enforce your rights. 615-604-6263. 615-604-6263. AmandaJGentry.com.
WQKR.
Wow, Lester. I never knew about this vault underneath the radio station. It sure is spooky down here. Yeah, it's like a mausoleum. Uh-oh, we're locked in. Hey, look at this. All these old radio programs. Jack Benny, The Lone Ranger, Abbott and Costello. Ooh, The Shadow. You know, I bet I can make a regular radio show out of all these old programs. Yeah, that's it. We could call it Morty's Radio Mausoleum. That's if we can ever get out of here.
Sumner Regional Medical Center believes that every person has the right to dignity, respect, and compassion as we journey through the cycle of life. That's why they have created High Point Hospice. Our team of doctors, nurses, hospice aides, social workers, chaplains, and volunteers will walk by your side, offering support, providing symptom management, and answering questions to bring comfort and peace to you and your loved ones. For more information about High Point Hospice, call 328-6690.
Volunteer State Bank is now Volunteer Bank. We're proud to introduce a new look for a name you've trusted for 48 years. This change reflects our deep roots in Middle Tennessee and our commitment to the place that we call home. It's how we're evolving to better serve you while staying true to the values that built us. Whatever your next step may be, we volunteer to help you take it. Volunteer Bank, the home state advantage. Learn more at volunteer.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Sumner County Anti-Drug Coalition, an organization dedicated to ending drug abuse, is now the Sumner Prevention Coalition. But their goal is the same, helping Sumner County residents with drug abuse problems turn their lives around and get on the road to recovery. Their mission is to unite people with vision, commitment, and resources to provide solutions to eliminate substance abuse and make a difference for youth, families, and individuals in Sumner County. The coalition and its staff of experienced professionals in the field envision a healthy, safe, and thriving community, free from substance abuse of all kinds, tobacco use, prescription drug abuse, and underage drinking. Find out how the Sumner Prevention Coalition can help you, and you can help the coalition. Visit them online at sumnercoalition.org. That's sumnercoalition.org.
Welcome back to Southern Ghost Stories. Here's your host, Alan Searcy, my good friend.
All right, we're back with some more ghost stories. So, something I learned about digging into Opryland and the theme park there were a handful of people who died at Opryland in the theme park. So, I'm sure you've seen the news. There's been some deaths at Disney World lately. Have you seen that?
No.
There's been a handful of suicides over the past month or two.
No.
And Disney tries to keep that stuff on the down low. They don't want to talk about people dying in the park.
Nobody will show up.
But it happens, yeah. I mean, it's a thing. A lot of elderly folks go to Disney World, they stay in the hotel and they just kick the bucket in the middle of the night. Some folks go commit suicide. Well, in Opryland, 1978, Opryland had the Rocket Roller Coaster. That was like the fun roller coaster back when I was a kid. I think it was a little bit faster than the Wabash Cannonball. But there was a park employee, a guest they wore a hat as they were riding the roller coaster. You know, naturally you go real fast, the wind hits the hat flies off your head and falls to the ground. Well, the park employee went over there to underneath the roller coaster and he got the hat. Well, as he's picking up the hat, he stands up, the next ride runs right into him.
Oh, gosh.
It kills him.
Ow.
Yeah, I mean, and they try to keep that under wraps, but it got out.
Dang, so that didn't make news or nothing.
No, I mean, it was just routine park operations, but the guy probably should have told the guy operating the roller coaster, hey, I'm going down there. Somebody lost their hat.
For real, miscommunication there.
Yeah, management quietly handled the matter, and it kind of got swept under the rug.
Wow.
Well, 2 years later, there was a guy, a 59-year-old groundskeeper, was performing cleaning up duties beside the rock and roller coaster track there. Well, while a safety check was being conducted, they made an announcement, clear the area. But this gentleman, he was a little bit older, 59. They say his hearing was probably bad. He didn't hear it. He wandered over there to the track, and a coaster hit him going 45 miles an hour, and it threw him 15 feet up in the air. He was found bleeding near the track and later pronounced dead at the hospital. There were some theories about this. Some speculated it was suicide, and others believed it was just really a bad accident. The family sued Opryland's parent company and Aero Development, the company that made the actual roller coaster, and a settlement was quietly reached. They never went to court, but yeah, there's 2 documented deaths right there. But there's another death attributed to another roller coaster, the Wabash Cannonball. And this one, it's not really it's horrible as a kid. An 8-year-old boy from Knoxville came to Opryland. He had a heart condition, and he wasn't expected to live very long. And one of his last wishes was he wanted to come to Opryland and ride the roller coasters. Well, he collapsed as he was riding the Wabash Cannonball roller coaster. The medical staff on site rushed to save him, but he couldn't be revived. They just chalked it up to that heart condition. The family, they didn't even try to sue Opryland. They kind of knew, hey, he's not well, and it probably wasn't a good idea to put a sick kid on a roller coaster anyway. So, but it's what the kid wanted to do, and his family let him have that one last ride, literally. And he went out with a smile on his face in the Wabash Cannonball. So, yeah, I have so many fond memories of Opryland. Did you go to the park when you were younger, Lee?
No, shit. We couldn't afford to. We were in the backyard.
Yeah, man. The Wabash Cannonball, Rock and Roller Coaster, those were the big roller coasters when I was a kid. In the 90s, they built this indoor roller coaster called Chaos. But the thing was, it was really ahead of its time. You had to wear these goggles, and there were these like 3D effects, and it seemed like the ride was broken more than it was operational. It was awesome when it worked, but it seemed like there's always a problem with it. The Grizzly River Rampage, that was like the water ride you rode on. It was like these grand rapids, and you're in this little big inner tube with like 8 other people, and you're getting splashed around. Like the ride will spin, you'll get stuck under a waterfall. And like I hated it, but I loved it. The thing was, like, I'd always wear tennis shoes and socks when I was at the park, and it always killed me if I got wet. I had to wear wet socks the rest of the day. I hated that. Yeah. Like my sister, she wore flip-flops. My cousin wore flip-flops. I always wore tennis shoes and socks. End up wearing wet socks.
Same way.
But at the Grizzly River, you go down this water rapid ride, and at the very end, you go in this dark tunnel. And at the very end, these strobe lights kick up, and there's this big old imposing grizzly bear about 10 feet tall about to jump in your boat, to scare the fire out of you. But that was always the kicker there.
Good.
And they had the Old Mill Scream was the water ride where you went up this thing and you come straight down, and big gust of water splashes you and everybody around you. The Flume Zoom is also kind of fun. It was like a kiddie water ride. It's like the log ride. You get the hollow logs and you kind of go around. Yeah, sorry, I know it's the ghost stories. I just got reminiscing on my childhood and the fun stories from Opryland. I love that place.
Awesome, man.
My favorite ride, though, is the Sky Ride. It's those little trams that go back and forth. My cousin and I, we ride that thing all day long because it's in the summertime. It's hotter than what at Opryland. Because Nashville gets hot in the summer. But you get up here real high in the sky, ride that Sky Ride back and forth. It's a good way to cool off. That's what me and my cousin always did.
No kidding. I remember Now, speaking of parks, not when I was younger, but several years ago, we went to Disneyland because my daughter was little, and my ex-wife's daughter from a previous marriage was blind, and we got on one of those logs that go straight down into the water.
Yeah.
And I had to tell her every move everything was making, because it was just me and her. And she had no idea. She couldn't see what was going on. So sometimes I would mislead her so she could get scared. She wanted to get scared.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Well, there's another... The Opryland book, I cover a lot of ground, like the whole area all around Opryland. There's ghost stories. So you're familiar with Ernest Tubb, aren't you?
Thanks a lot. Got a broken heart. That's what I got. Yes.
Well, Ernest Tubb, he was like the first really touring musician that went across the country playing in his Green Hornet bus.
That's right.
He was kind of famous for that. So, in a wild story about Ernest Tubb, I mean, I'll just jump into this. So, when I was a kid, I lived in Antioch, outskirts of Nashville. My dad was in the backyard, and there's an elderly man with like a big ditch in our backyard. There's an older man in the back part of his yard that butted up to our backyard. And my dad walked over and said, "Hey, buddy, you look familiar. Where I know you from?" "Sir, my name's Ernest Tubb." Ernest Tubb had bought this house. I think his nephew lived in it, and he bought it for his nephew. But occasionally he'd come over, and my dad just saw him one day. And
how cool is
yeah,
that?
it's my childhood's nuts.
He was also known for flipping his guitar up, and in big letters it said "thanks."
Yeah,
that was
Ernest
so cool.
Tubb owned the house behind my house, and this is I'm going way off track here. And the house to the left,
show.
And the house to the left of me, the family, their daughter dated the NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 1991. Pat Swilling, linebacker for the Saints. I grew up with the Saints linebacker in my backyard, shooting basketball every day. That's another story. But anyway, so Ernest Tubb is Green Hornet tour bus. There's over Music Valley Drive. It's like this little touristy part of. It's not part of Opryland, but it's adjacent to Opryland. A lot of tourists that, if they can't stay in the hotel, they'll stay in the cheaper hotels over there adjacent on the Music Valley Drive side of Opryland.
What you're talking about.
Well, they have like these little shops set up for them to come, spend some money and get, a Nashville T-shirt, all the touristy stuff. Well, it's Music Valley Drive. It's 2416 Music Valley Drive. It's now like a boutique or something. But Ernest Tubb had these record shops he built. He had one down on Broadway. He had one on Music Valley Drive where he sold records. Of course, as time went on, everything's now digital, so yeah, it's obsolete. But when they built this building, they built the building around the 1964 Silver Eagle Green Hornet tour bus.
Wow.
They parked it there, and they built the building around it.
How incredible.
So this tour bus is encased by this shopping center. Like they can't get it out. And I believe I heard a story where when they first brought it in, because I think they drove it in, or I forgot they got it in, but the fuel in the bus and the oil and the fuel was making the employees sick.
Oh.
They had to get all the chemicals out of the tour bus after they got inside the building. But this Ernest Tubb record shop, he had this tour bus inside the shop for his fans to come see. And they have it set up where you can go inside, you can walk up in the tour bus, you can see where he slept, you can walk through the little way and see all the little bunks, and you can kind of see some radios, see some memorabilia. But they say that the legend I was told was Ernest Tubb, he was the first traveling musician. He drove from Tennessee to California on this tour bus, and a prerequisite to be in his band, you had to be a mechanic. You had to know how to fix the bus if it ever broke down, because that was part of their gig,
I can relate. When I was with Aaron Tippin, if you were going to be in his band, you had to have a CDL and co-drive the bus. Mm-hmm. So I know what you're talking about.
So they say that when he finally retired, I guess it was in the 70s or 80s, he stopped touring. So he parked the bus in his backyard. Well, some nights when he couldn't sleep, he'd go out to his bus and sleep on his bus, because that was home away from home. Well, they've got this bus inside this former record shop. Now it's a boutique. But they say that you can hear people talking on the bus. It was home away from home from 1970, 1979. Texas Troubadours, they traveled the road with him. But, yeah, they say that after his death in 1984, his presence seemed to linger there on his beloved bus. They say you hear voices, footsteps inside the bus, especially when the boutiques are closed. Temperature shifts. The interior It gets hot and cold without any explanation. Unexplained noises, footsteps. This is a quote from a former employee I used in the book. There are rumors the bus is haunted. The previous owner blocked it off and covered it up. She didn't like it, and she said it was bad. That kind of tickled me.
Where's the bus now?
It's still inside the
still
building.
in there.
They can't get it out.
The only way to get it out is
to tear the building
down.
down. Yeah. So they were against a break here. Let's take a break and come back, and I got some more weird, wild ghost story stuff.
We'll be back for our last segment, Southern Ghost Stories with Alan Searcy, right here on the Superstation WQKR.
Simple pleasures, courtesy of the Energy Right program from TVA and your local power company. The cool underside of the pillow, long hot showers, and best of all, reasonable electric bills. Whether it's a hard-working electric water heater or a high-efficiency heat pump, you're saving money with the Energy Right program simply by enjoying the little things in life. For information, call your local power company or visit EnergyRight.com.
In Portland, that's CEMC.
WQKR.
At the Farmers Bank, we want to be your bank for life. We work hard to bring you the products and services that will meet your financial needs no matter where life may take you. Whether you're saving for college, ready for retirement, getting ready to marry, or celebrating your golden anniversary, we're here for you. Visit us online at thefarmersbank.net or at any of our 11 area locations to learn more about how the Farmers Bank can be your bank for life. The Farmers Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
I have a question for you. Do you like great music? Music from singer-songwriters? Maybe bluegrass, folk, blues, classic country, rockabilly, or even early rock and roll? Then I invite you to a special show called Americana Country. I'm your host, Jay Preston. It's Sunday afternoon, 1 till 4 p.m. We play a whole mess of great music, Americana and roots music, right here on WQKR. Join me, Jay Preston, Sunday afternoons for Americana Country, 1 till 4 p.m. right here on WQKR.
McDonald's presents Burger Reviews by Hamburglar. Today's review, the hotter, juicier classic burgers. Hamburglar, the time is yours.
Robble, robble.
He said, these are McDonald's best burgers ever. And then, can I keep them? And then he just grabbed them and ran away.
Robble.
It's your time to run too. Get your McDonald's favorites. Enjoy this delicious deal. Buy one Big Mac, double cheeseburger, or McDouble, and get another one for $1. Prices and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Welcome back to Southern Ghost Stories. I am the board operator, Lonesome Lee Bogan. Here's your host, Alan Searcy, for the last segment.
He is not bored, ladies and gentlemen.
Not bored, but I am an operator.
So where's the WQKR girls? I hadn't heard them today.
They sang a while ago while you were telling a story about shrimp.
Okay, yeah, we're talking about the jerk store call. They're all out of you.
Yeah, I can't. That shrimp makes me sick.
Anyway, so yeah, back to the ghost stories, Opryland. So there's a cursed road. You guys heard the story about the cursed road, Brawley Parkway?
No, but I've cursed going around Brawley Parkway.
I curse every time I drop down and see that damn mall instead of the park.
Right.
Yeah, so when Opryland opened, there's a lot of traffic. So the city leaders, the mayor, Beverly Brawley, he decides, hey, we should build a parkway. And let's call it Brawley Parkway. Yeah, see how that works. So they built Brawley Parkway in the 70s, and it kind of alleviated the congestion, and it's kind of like it helps you get around Nashville, too, during rush hour traffic. So as soon as this road is open, tragedy strikes. Southbound motorists, they begin crashing just after crossing the Cumberland River Bridge, often losing control on the curb near the campgrounds that's there today. The city wrestled to try to figure out how do we fix this. They actually worked on it and redid the road because so many people were crashing their cars coming around this curve. They tried to resurvey the embankment, and it took a long time. I had a historian tell me that he witnessed a truck that went airborne, and it decapitated a woman in a pickup truck that it hit. Police and witnesses described the aftermath as gruesome. The scenes just burned into their memory. So kind of like gets around Nashville that, hey, Brawley Parkway's cursed. Some blame just poor city planning. Others whisper about, hey, the land's dark history, Native American burial grounds, a plantation, the angry widow who's mad about her property being used for a theme park. So who knows what's going on? Well, You know Miss Dottie West, don't you?
Oh, Lord, yes. That's where she lost her life.
Yep. Dottie West was a huge country music superstar in the 60s, 70s, 80s.
Steve Warner was her bass player.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
He's a good vocalist. Yeah, she recorded many hit songs and had several #1 duets with Kenny Rogers.
Yes.
As did a lot of ladies like Dolly Parton.
Mm-hmm.
So August 1991, Dottie West was one of country music's brightest stars, and she was part of the Grand Ole Opry. She's a member there. Well, she was on the way to the Opry, and her car broke down in a Harding Place as she was rushing to make an Opry appearance that night. Well, she's stuck on the side of the road. She sees this familiar car kind of pull up next to her. It's her neighbor, 81-year-old George Thaxton. Wow. Lived in the same apartment complex.
I remember.
You know what's wild? I did some genealogy a couple years ago. George Thaxton is related to my grandfather.
Get out of town.
Yeah, so he's like a distant relative of mine.
Oh, that's another story.
Yeah. So George Thaxton, he stopped to help his neighbor Dottie, and she tells him, hey, he told the police this. She said, step on it. You know, she's running late to the Opry. You got to get me there in time. You know, I'm going to go on at such and such time. Well, unbeknownst to Dottie West, I mean, she may have figured it out, but Thaxton, when he picked her up, he had come from a local bar there in East Nashville. So he sees his neighbor on the side of the road. Hey, what are you doing? I need to get the Opry now. So she hops in the car, and he just hightails it up Bradley Parkway, heading towards the Opry. Well, as they speak toward the Opry, and they get off the exit there for the old, it's now the mall, but for the park, he lost control, and he spun out. The car went airborne and slammed into a median. If you go to the mall today, you'll see there's a cross there right off the exit. It says Dottie West.
Yeah.
And that's where the car went airborne, where she died. Or she didn't die. That's where...
So sad.
Yeah, she crashed. They sped towards the Opry. She crashed. Car went airborne. Well, George survived. He walked away. It's wild because he's an 81-year-old man. You wouldn't think, 81-year-old man would be that sturdy, but he had arm and back injuries and walked away. Well, Dottie, she thought she was okay too. They took her to they were going to take her to the ER, and she's like, no, I'm okay. Well, she refused immediate medical care. Well, she had a ruptured spleen and a lacerated liver.
God bless her.
Yeah, and she later died on an operating table. They tried to get in there and fix it, but she had just lost so much blood, bleeding internally, that there's nothing they can do for her.
That's so sad, Alan.
Yeah, it's just horrible. There's just so much tragedy. That whole it's weird. Like, it's one little corner of Nashville where all this weird, wild stuff happens. The Opryland area.
There's so much tragedy in country music. You think about Hank Williams Sr. and Dottie West, and all these
Patsy Cline.
Patsy. Oh my gosh, I love Patsy Cline. Everybody likes the song "Crazy," which I do too. My favorite song she did was. I was so wrong for so long. I was wrong for so long. What a beautiful song by Patsy.
And who sings that song?
Patsy.
Let's keep it that way. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Oh, mic's off. Remember, I got control of your microphone, young man.
Or what's that old line?
Don't quit your day job.
No, I had to go singing because of my throat. Oh, what happened? Somebody said they was going to cut it if I didn't stop singing.
No, man, I know I'm not a very good singer. I'm a harmony singer more than anything.
Yeah, but Opryland, I mean, I guess it's southeast Nashville, east Nashville, Donaldson part of Nashville. And what's weird is, I have 4 books on Nashville. I have downtown Nashville, South Nashville, West Nashville. Still kicking around east and north trying to figure it all out. But Opryland, I guess, is technically an East Nashville book because it covers this one little corner of Nashville right there by the Cumberland River. I mean, you had Native Americans, you had the Two Rivers, there were slaves right there on that property. Then you had Miss McGavick. She's upset about the theme park coming in. You got country music people. I mean, Mr. Acuff passed away.
You still missed the best singing joke.
What's that?
What'd you do with that money? What money?
Oh.
That money they give you to take singing lessons.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, but Opryland, it's just a weird, wild place. And I told you that when that picture, the book did pretty good when it came out. Then that picture went viral on Facebook. You can probably, if you go to Facebook, look up Opryland Ghost Story, Opryland Lady in Black or whatever. It should come up. There's actually an Opryland group on Facebook you can join. like Memories of Opryland or something like that. And
Opryland Ghost Stories, Lady in Black.
Yeah. But if you go into the Opryland, Memories of Opryland Facebook group, type in Lady in Black, it should pop up. It went viral. The book did really well, and then that picture came out, and the book kind of spiked again. It's wild. Actually, the book was in the news again last year, and the book is, 4 years old by this point. Yeah, but Opryland, Opryland is near and dear to my heart. Like, when I was a kid, it was, G.I. Joe, Hulk Hogan, and Opryland. That was my childhood when I was, 8 years old. That's what I was all about.
Let me tell you, brother.
Yeah, dude, when they tore down that park, I mean,
There's no picture.
Yeah, well, it's on there somewhere. You got to find it.
Yeah, I got it.
But, Opryland, it was such a big part of my childhood, and that's why I wrote the book. This is my love letter to Opryland. If you look at the stats, Opryland was still making money, but with the new CEO in town, they just had to cut bait, and they wanted to build something. They wanted a mall because the mall brings in revenue every day instead of 3 days when you're not 3 months when it's not bringing in revenue.
Mr. Allen, you've been doing some really cool TV shows.
Yeah, I mean, October, I do a lot of appearances. I did Today in Nashville. I did Opryland in Nashville. I did East Tennessee Living in Knoxville. I did something in Kentucky, too. Yeah, I did some radio shows in Nashville.
Those TV shows are a lot of viewers. So, I mean, you're like, you're special.
Well, I mean,
Short bus.
Yeah, well,
yeah, I'm kidding.
No, and I've got some stuff I'm working on. I might be part of a documentary that I won't say a lot, but I've been working on some things on the side, and 2026 is going to be a lot of fun. I've got some projects I've been working on. I got some scripts.
If you don't start using my name, it's going to break my feelings.
Okay, Roger, I got you.
Oh man, I'm gonna knock you a slap out.
No, but as we wind down here, man, check out the books. I was on the news in Knoxville 2 weeks ago for Hexed, the book about the voodoo doctor in 1940s. Real story, real guy. It's crazy. Voodoo doctors, but they had one in Knoxville.
What is Hex?
Hex, is it like a voodoo hex?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Put a hex on you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You hex me for making fun of you tonight on the radio show.
Right.
I got Below the Trestle, the book about the Pope Lake Goat Man. I was in Louisville, did some appearances up there for that. The Resurrection of Knox Martin, that's what a lot of appearances for were in Nashville, promoting the Frankenstein story. We did a show on that a few weeks back. But Nashville had a Frankenstein story. Guys trying to revive bodies with electricity. Resurrection of Knox Martin, you check that out. Yeah, and I've got a whole bunch of books, man.
How was your show in Gallatin? I mean, I know we had trouble with the internet. All our internet problems are in the past now.
Okay.
But other than that, how did your Gallatin show go?
But it was good. Yeah, we had a live show last week. Had a good turnout. It was a lot of fun, telling ghost stories. I had an investigator, Chanel Guarney, come out, and she's talking about some of the investigations she'd been a part of. We're at the Palace Theater. The director was telling me before the show, she walks down there to the stage, and she can look back in the seats, see like a man sitting right there in the seats.
Wow.
So, I talked to her a few days later. It's like, I know I turned the lights off. They say she comes in, all the lights are on. So, the Gallatin Palace Theater is very, very haunted. So,
well, when am I going to get to go? I want to ghost hunt with you.
I don't do a lot of ghost hunting
Investigate.
anymore.
Well, you're about to.
I have no choice. I do more like historical research now. I mean, I've done it. It's you go to a haunted building sometimes, sit for 8 hours. Sometimes you don't get a single thing.
I know, but the interest I have in it and the interest I have in what you do, we have to at least go once.
I'll get you hooked up with some people. I may
me and you. Don't put me with nobody. I want to do it with you, man. Just one time,
okay.
like maybe the Thomas House or something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Have you ever been to the Thomas House?
Oh yeah, we talked about that a few weeks ago.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, it's an old Mineral Springs resort and all kinds of weird wild stuff.
I forget stuff. I'm old and I have a brain tumor.
There's a little boy who drowned in the pool, and they've seen the little boy walking around the hotel. And they hear him talking. Yeah, there's been multiple kids died in the house, and Thomas House, it's like the mecca for. Paranormal in the middle of Tennessee.
I don't know if I'm supposed to tell this, but I'm going to. When I worked at Kentucky Downs, this was before all the expansion, and they had just opened as a casino with slots. And there was this on one side of the building where they say that there were sword fights there and killings.
Dueling,
dueling.
Jackson fought a duel on the Red River in 1806.
Yeah, well, I went back there with my iPod and was recording, and I recorded a growl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, played it for 2 or 3 people.
You might have been just hungry or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're winding down. Remember, check out my buddy Ben's shop, MonsterCityMadhouse.com. It's 24/7 Halloween over there, MonsterCityMadhouse.com, SouthernGhostStories.com, GhostofGallatin.com. I got the book Below the Trestle. Yeah, y'all come see me. I'll be out somewhere slinging books this weekend.
Sounds good. We'll see you next week on Southern Ghost Stories.
All right.